Okay, let's talk about certificates. Because we really need to understand certificates and what they are used for. I go online and we start talking about app deployment to the App Store or distribution to devices or test devices or whatever have you. Um, but they just go through these steps and they don't give a lot of context to what's going on. Right, and normally explain to me certificates. I kind of had to do my research, so let's break this down because a lot of these YouTubers, they don't really break it down. They just go through the steps, and there are a lot of things you could get wrong, like what I did when I first started. I made multiple duplicates of certificates, right? Because I thought you had to create a certificate every time you put it out, not understanding that certificates can be used, this one certificate can be used for multiple apps over a period of time for a particular thing. Okay, so let's do this. What is code signing? Code signing is the process of digitally signing executables and scripts to confirm the software author and guarantee the code has not been altered or corrupted since it was signed. The process involves using a code signing certificate, a private key to create a digital signature, which is then embedded into the code. The signature can be verified by users, operating systems, and other software using the corresponding public key. When an application is code signed, the operating system can verify that the app has not been tampered with since it was last signed by the developer. In addition, code signing allows the operating system to identify the developer of the app, providing users with a level of trust and security. Code signing is particularly important for mobile apps and other software that are distributed online, as it helps to ensure the authenticity and integrity of the software and protect users from malware and other malicious code. Okay, so in essence, we make sure that this code is not tampered with since we created it. Okay. Now, what are app certificates? Apple certificates are digital credentials that are used to code sign and authenticate iOS mobile apps and their components. They are used to ensure that only authorized apps can be installed on iOS devices and to protect apps from tampering. There are two main types of Apple certificates that are relevant to iOS mobile development. Development certificates. These are certificates that are used to sign and authenticate during development and testing, and distribution certificates. These certificates are used to sign and authenticate apps when they are ready to be released to the public. Okay. So, and you can go back and read all this if you want to. Developers must have valid Apple developer accounts to create certificates signing requests from their computer. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Developers must have a valid Apple developer account and create certificate signing requests from their computer to create development and distribution certificates. Additionally, they should also create and manage provisioning profiles, which are used to specify devices, which devices are authorized to run a particular app during development or testing, and to specify the app's capabilities when it is distributed. In summary, Apple certificates and provisioning profiles are important in the iOS development process. Deployment as they authenticate the app and its components and allow only authorized apps to run an iOS device, providing a security environment for end users. Okay, now certificates. These are the type of certificates you will be using for mobile apps. You know, your Apple development certificate, your Apple distribution certificate. Now, these are the main ones that we will be dealing with. Me and you, we will be dealing with Apple development certificate, which this deploys to the App Store, Apple distribution, right? And I will tell you the difference. I'm gonna show you the difference between the Apple development certificate and the iOS app development certificate. as well as difference between the Apple distribution certificate and the iOS distribution certificate, okay? So Apple development certificates, this certificate is used to sign apps while they are being developed and tested. It allows developers to run their apps on an iOS device and test them using Xcode. An Apple distribution certificate. This certificate is used to sign apps that will be distributed to the App Store or to users through an enterprise distribution program. It verifies the identity of the developer and ensures that the app has not been tampered with. iOS distribution. Hold on, let me go back. Okay, the iOS development certificate. Let me just make sure I didn't. An iOS development certificate is this certificate is used to sign apps that are in development and the testing phase. Okay. So yeah, it allows developers to install and run apps on iOS devices using Xcode and test them with TestFlight. Okay. So the iOS app development certificate is what you use with TestFlight. Okay. Right. And this certificate, you run your iOS devices and test them using Xcode. Okay. So that means when you are when you have it running on your device using Xcode, you use this certificate. When you run it through TestFlight, you use this certificate. Okay. Now, iOS distribution, App Store, and ad hoc. This certificate is used to sign and distribute apps for App Store and ad hoc distribution. Ad hoc distribution allows developers to distribute their app to a limited set of devices for testing and feedback. App Store distribution allows developers to distribute their app to the general public via Apple App Store. Okay, so you're probably asking, what is the difference between Apple distribution certificate and iOS distribution certificate, just in case you didn't get it the first time. An Apple distribution certificate is used to sign and distribute apps on the App Store. An iOS distribution certificate is used to sign and distribute apps outside of the App Store, such as ad hoc and distribution. Okay. Okay, you're probably asking what's the difference between the Apple development certificate and the iOS development certificate. And the Apple development certificate is used to sign and test apps during the development process on the Mac OS, right? While the iOS development certificate is used to sign and test apps during development process on iOS. Okay. While both certificates are used for testing and debugging, apps on physical devices are not used for distribution on the App Store or for ad hoc distribution. Okay. And that's all we have for now. Does it make sense to you? Please go back, rewatch the video, watch this again, read the passages, and I'm on to the next.